Most men think nicknames are just something cute you say in a relationship, but women don't work like that. The right nickname hits her emotionally, instantly shifting how she sees you. It makes her feel chosen, feminine, connected, and safe with you without you saying a single romantic line. Today, I'm breaking down the 9 nicknames women secretly love, nicknames that flip a switch in her mind and make her feel drawn to you in a way she can't explain. When a woman hears a nickname from a man, it triggers something deeper than most people realize. To men, it might seem like a simple word, a playful label, or something small and cute. But for women, nicknames tap into emotional wiring because the moment you give her a name no one else uses, she stops feeling like just another girl and starts feeling specifically chosen by you. Women don't fall for grand gestures as quickly as they fall for emotional cues, and nicknames are one of the strongest cues you can give. It signals to her subconscious that she holds a unique place in your life, even if neither of you has openly defined the relationship yet. A nickname stands out because it creates a private connection, something only the two of you share. Even if the nickname seems casual or simple, it represents exclusivity. Women value emotional intimacy more than physical attention, and a nickname is a gateway to that intimacy. It tells her that you see her differently from everyone else, that you notice something about her personality or her presence that others don't. That feeling of being singled out and emotionally recognized builds instant attraction. She leans in more, responds faster, becomes softer around you, and feels safer expressing her feminine energy, all because she feels chosen. One of the biggest reasons nicknames affect women so deeply is that they touch on the psychological need for significance. Women want to matter, not just be around you, but to be meaningful in your world. When you give her a nickname, it subtly communicates that she has earned a place in your attention and your mind. It's a sign that you are not indifferent toward her. And here's the truth: women are extremely sensitive to indifference. If a man seems emotionally unavailable, aloof, or uninterested, she pulls away. A nickname, on the other hand, signals warmth and presence without being overly emotional or needy. It's the perfect balance. You're acknowledging her, but you're doing it in a masculine, controlled, and confident way. Another layer to this is that nicknames activate emotional memories. Every time you use it, she's reminded of moments when you made her feel special, playful, comforted, or appreciated. Over time, the nickname becomes tied to your energy. Even when she's away from you, hearing or thinking of that name triggers feelings she associates specifically with you. This is why women can miss men they weren't even technically dating. Emotional imprinting doesn't need labels, it just needs consistent cues, and nicknames are one of the most powerful cues available. But the real power of nicknames lies in contrast. Most men talk to women in predictable patterns: compliments, questions, jokes, or surface level conversation. Very few men give a woman a personalized name. The moment you do, you separate yourself from every other guy she interacts with. You're no longer part of the crowd. You become memorable. In a woman's emotional world, being memorable is everything. Attraction grows when she can't stop replaying your words or your presence in her mind, and a nickname becomes the anchor for that mental replay. Nicknames also effortlessly deepen emotional safety. When a woman feels emotionally chosen, she becomes more open, more expressive, and more feminine around you. She doesn't feel the need to guard herself or stay distant. She feels like she can relax into the connection. Most men think attraction is about impressing a woman, but in reality, it's about how she feels in your presence. A well-chosen nickname makes her feel softer, valued, and invited to connect, all without you making any dramatic moves or declarations. Finally, nicknames lower emotional distance without forcing vulnerability. Women are careful about opening up, especially in the early stages of connection. They don't want to misread signals or invest too quickly. But when you give her a nickname, you're giving her a safe emotional sign. You matter to me more than everyone else does. It's subtle but powerful, and women respond to that signal immediately. Cute nicknames play a far more powerful role in relationships and attraction than most people understand. For women, emotional safety and comfort are the foundation of attraction. While men often connect through actions and shared activities, women connect through emotional signals, tone, and the quality of interaction. A nickname feels warm, familiar, and personal, and that instantly softens the dynamic between you and her. It shifts the energy from formal or guarded to relaxed and intimate. That shift alone can create a psychological bond, a sense of closeness that forms long before a relationship becomes official. When you use a cute nickname, you're communicating emotional consistency. Women feel safe where things feel predictable and warm, not cold or uncertain. A nickname is a verbal cue that tells her your energy is not harsh or distant. Instead, it's welcoming. She doesn't have to guess where she stands with you because the nickname gives her a subtle reassurance. This reassurance is part of what creates emotional security. It signals that she can lower her guard, express herself more freely, and allow the connection to deepen because your presence feels stable rather than confusing. Nicknames also help a woman feel comfortable because they create a space where she doesn't feel judged. When you say something cute or playful to her, you're essentially telling her, "You're safe being yourself around me." Women become more feminine, open, and expressive when they sense this emotional safety. They laugh more easily, they initiate conversations more, and they become more affectionate in how they respond. The nickname becomes a small yet powerful anchor for this emotional atmosphere. Another important aspect is that nicknames activate a psychological bond through familiarity. Human beings naturally bond over repeated patterns of affection. When you consistently use a cute nickname, her brain begins associating that word with warmth, comfort, and emotional connection. Over time, the nickname becomes linked to how she feels when she talks to you. She doesn't bond with the word itself. She bonds with the feeling it gives her. That is why women often melt when a man who makes them feel good uses a nickname. It pulls them emotionally closer without either person having to say anything about commitment or feelings. Cute nicknames also help bypass emotional defenses. Many women carry past experiences of rejection, hurt, or emotional inconsistency. These experiences make them more guarded or distrusting at first. A nickname, when used naturally and confidently, helps chip away at those walls. It shows that your energy isn't threatening or dismissive. It communicates warmth without excessive romance, allowing her emotional defenses to relax gradually. This is why a nickname like "Hey You" or "Sweet Girl" from a confident man feels disarming in the best way. It creates a micro moment of emotional vulnerability that feels safe rather than risky. There's also a social element to it. Women constantly navigate social environments where they're judged, compared, or objectified. A cute nickname creates a private bubble in the interaction, something set apart from the outside world. It's a signal that the connection she has with you is different. This perceived difference is what strengthens emotional bonding. She feels like she has her own unique space with you, which builds trust and deepens the connection naturally. Beyond comfort and security, nicknames build connection through emotional rhythm. Consistent, gentle reinforcement of affection, whether through tone, nicknames, or small gestures, creates an emotional rhythm that women attach to. When the emotional rhythm feels good, comforting, and stable, their bond with you grows stronger. They start anticipating your messages, looking forward to your presence, and feeling more drawn to you without needing dramatic expressions of love or attention. Most importantly, cute nicknames stimulate a psychological bond because they are low pressure but high impact. They don't force intimacy, but they invite it. They don't demand emotional vulnerability, but they open the door to it. They show care without making things complicated. Women are incredibly responsive to this balance. It allows attraction to grow naturally, steadily, and deeply, which is why nicknames are such a powerful tool in emotional connection. Personalized nicknames create a different kind of psychological impact because they show that you're paying attention to who she is, not just using a word any man could throw at her. Generic nicknames like baby, cutie, or hun might feel sweet at first, but women hear them so often that they lose meaning. They don't communicate anything specific or unique. A personalized nickname, on the other hand, reflects something about her personality, her behavior, her energy, or even an inside moment you both shared. Women attach emotionally to things that feel tailored to them, not recycled from past relationships or used casually with anyone. Personalized nicknames stand out because they represent observation. When you give her a name that's tied to something real about her, maybe the way she smiles, something funny she said, or a habit that only you noticed, you're signaling attentiveness. Women feel valued when they feel seen, and the nickname becomes a symbol of your ability to notice the details. To a woman, this isn't just cute, it's deeply attractive. It shows emotional intelligence. It shows that you're present with her, not distracted or treating her like everyone else. The personalized nickname becomes a reflection of your connection, and that is what triggers attraction on a deeper level. Another reason personalized nicknames work so well is because they create emotional exclusivity. You're giving her a name that belongs to her alone, not a word that you could copy and paste onto any other woman. Emotional exclusivity is incredibly powerful for women because it taps into their need to feel special, chosen, and prioritized. When she feels like your nickname for her is uniquely hers, she associates that sense of exclusivity directly with you. This creates a private emotional space in the connection, a little pocket of intimacy that strengthens over time. Women also respond to personalized nicknames because they feel more authentic. A nickname that comes from a shared joke, a moment of chemistry, or a trait only you've picked up on feels real, not forced. It doesn't feel like a performance. It feels natural. Women are constantly evaluating a man's authenticity, especially in the early stages. A generic nickname can feel like a line. A personalized one feels like genuine affection. This authenticity builds trust and allows her to soften around you without hesitation. Another layer to personalization is emotional alignment. When a nickname aligns with who she sees herself as or who she likes to be around you, it reinforces her emotional identity. For example, if she feels cute around you, a nickname that plays into her softness deepens that feeling. If she's playful, a teasing nickname amplifies the energy she likes sharing with you. Personalized nicknames validate her emotional expression and make her want to show more of that side of herself. That validation strengthens the dynamic and makes the connection feel more natural and energized. Personalized nicknames also create a psychological anchor. Women connect deeply through emotional memories, and a nickname tied to something specific becomes a memory trigger. Every time you say it, she recalls the moment or reason behind it. She remembers how she felt when you said it the first time. She remembers how present you were, how playful you were, or how warm the moment felt. This emotional recall builds attachment, even if she's not consciously aware of it. Over time, the nickname becomes a shortcut to intimacy, something that instantly reconnects her to the emotional bond between you. Finally, personalized nicknames make the connection feel alive. They add personality, charm, and individuality to your interactions. They show effort without looking like effort. They create a dynamic that feels different from anything she experiences with other men. And because the nickname is rooted in something meaningful, it evolves as your connection evolves. It becomes a story, a reference point, and a reminder that the bond is growing in a way that is unique to both of you. Women respond emotionally to nicknames that touch the parts of them they don't always show to the world. On the surface, many women appear confident, independent, or even guarded, but emotional softness is still a core part of their identity. When a man uses a nickname that makes them feel gentle, feminine, or cherished, it creates an emotional shift inside them. It's not about the word itself, it's about the feeling the word activates. A well-chosen nickname tells her she can let her softness come forward around you without feeling judged or vulnerable in a negative way. That emotional permission is rare for women, which is why they secretly love it so much. Feeling seen is another powerful emotional need. Women want to feel understood in a way that goes beyond surface level compliments. Generic praise like "you're hot" or "you're pretty" doesn't register deeply because it doesn't tell her anything about how you perceive her as a person. But a nickname that reflects her personality or emotional essence makes her feel recognized on a deeper level. Women crave that type of recognition because it tells them they are appreciated not only for their looks, but for who they are emotionally. When a man uses a nickname that captures her energy, something cute, soft, playful, or unique, it creates a kind of emotional intimacy that she can't ignore. Being valued is the final and perhaps strongest part of why certain nicknames work. Women want to feel like they matter to the man they're talking to, even if the relationship is not yet defined. A nickname becomes a subtle signal that she has significance in your world. It shows she isn't just someone you talk to casually, she holds a place in your emotional landscape. Feeling valued makes her more open, responsive, and affectionate. It makes her lean into the connection because it gives her a sense of emotional security. A nickname becomes a quiet but powerful way of saying, "I appreciate you," without needing a deep or dramatic conversation. Nicknames that make a woman feel soft often work because they allow her to step into her feminine energy. In the modern world, many women are in environments where they must be strong, logical, or tough. They rarely get to relax into feminine emotions like warmth, cuteness, or vulnerability, but when you use the right nickname, it gently invites her into that softer side of herself. She feels more playful, more expressive, and more emotionally open. This shift not only strengthens her attraction, but also deepens her trust because she feels emotionally safe enough to be that version of herself around you. Nicknames that make her feel seen work because they validate her inner world. Women often hide parts of themselves, quirks, insecurities, gentle habits, or unique traits because they fear being misunderstood. When you pick up on these subtle parts of her and turn them into a nickname, she feels understood in a rare and meaningful way. That kind of emotional visibility is something women deeply cherish. It creates a bond that she instinctively protects and gravitates toward because it's not easy to replace. Nicknames that make her feel valued resonate because they acknowledge her importance. Women don't want to feel like an option or a placeholder. They want to feel like their presence affects you in a positive way. A nickname becomes a symbol of that impact. It's a small gesture that carries emotional weight, telling her she's not just another person in your life. She has a special position, and the nickname becomes a reminder of that significance every time she hears it. Ultimately, the nicknames women love the most are the ones that emotionally uplift them. They soften their internal walls, they affirm their uniqueness, and they reinforce their worth. These nicknames transform ordinary interactions into moments of connection because they touch parts of her identity she rarely shares but deeply wants to be acknowledged for. Women respond to confidence on an emotional level, often faster than they realize. A nickname delivered with confidence sends a message that you're comfortable in your own skin, you're not afraid of expressing affection, and you're sure of your place in the interaction. Confidence eliminates hesitation, awkwardness, and doubt, which are the very things that make most men sound insecure. When you use a nickname calmly and naturally, it becomes a signal of leadership and emotional strength. Women feel subconsciously drawn to that energy because it establishes you as the steady force in the conversation. Confidence in communication is extremely attractive to women, and nicknames are one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to project it. Playfulness is another quality that amplifies the effect of nicknames. Women want to feel light, energized, and emotionally free around a man. A playful nickname does exactly that. It breaks the seriousness, interrupts overthinking, and creates an easy emotional flow. Playfulness doesn't mean being childish. It means bringing a warm, teasing, gentle spark into the interaction. A nickname said with a small smile or a witty tone instantly changes the dynamic. It makes her associate you with positivity, fun, and emotional ease. When she feels emotionally uplifted in your presence, her attraction grows naturally because she connects you with good feelings rather than pressure or tension. Masculine presence might be the most important element of all. Masculine presence isn't about being loud, aggressive, or overly dominant. It's about having a stable, grounded, calm energy. It's about communicating in a way that makes her feel protected, reassured, and emotionally anchored. When you use a nickname from a place of masculine presence, it carries weight. It feels intentional, steady, and comforting. Women can feel this energy instantly because it contrasts with the chaotic or unsure energy many men bring. A nickname spoken from masculine presence becomes more than a word. It becomes a subtle form of emotional leadership that makes her feel secure and drawn in. Nicknames that combine confidence, playfulness, and masculine presence activate attraction quickly because they engage a woman's emotional radar. Women are highly intuitive when it comes to reading tone, body language, and emotional vibration. They don't just listen to what you're saying, they feel how you're saying it. When your nickname carries the right balance, it hits all the emotional points they're wired to respond to. A man who can make her feel safe, seen, and entertained at the same time becomes magnetic to her. Even if the nickname is simple, the emotional delivery transforms it into something meaningful. When you use a nickname with confidence, it removes uncertainty. Uncertainty kills attraction faster than anything else. If you sound unsure or tentative, she feels that hesitation and interprets it as emotional instability. But a confident nickname creates clarity. It tells her you know what you feel, you know what you're doing, and you're not afraid to express it. That clarity makes her relax because she doesn't have to guess your intentions or analyze your words. Playfulness adds emotional oxygen to the connection. Women often carry stress, responsibilities, and emotional pressure. A playful nickname cuts through all of that. It creates a moment of ease, a moment where she can drop the seriousness of life and just feel good. Men who can bring this energy create emotional memories that women keep coming back to. A nickname said in a playful tone becomes something she looks forward to hearing, something that brightens her mood the moment you say it. Masculine presence gives the nickname depth. It's the grounding force that makes her feel safe enough to enjoy the moment. Without masculine presence, confidence can look cocky and playfulness can look immature. But with it, the nickname becomes balanced. It makes her feel both excited and secure. Women crave that combination instinctively. It's rare, and it's the reason certain men stand out without trying too hard. When all three qualities are present in how you use a nickname, it triggers attraction almost instantly. She feels the energy behind your words before she even processes the nickname itself. This emotional impact is what makes nicknames such powerful tools when used by the right man in the right way. Women are extremely sensitive to emotional tone, and nicknames that feel forced, exaggerated, or recycled instantly break attraction. When a man uses a nickname that sounds generic or overly dramatic, it creates an uncomfortable emotional mismatch. It feels like he's trying too hard to create intimacy instead of letting it develop naturally. Nicknames like baby girl, my queen, or princess can easily feel excessive or artificial if the emotional connection isn't strong enough yet. Women want expressions of affection to feel rooted in genuine connection, not in trying to imitate what they've seen in movies or social media. When a nickname doesn't match the emotional stage of the relationship, it becomes cringy because it feels misplaced or premature. Overused nicknames also fail to create emotional impact because they lack individuality. If a nickname is something she has heard from multiple men before, it holds no emotional imprint. It doesn't differentiate you from anyone else, and it doesn't reflect anything special about her. Women can tell when a man uses the same lines, same patterns, or same sweet words with everyone. They don't want to be another character in a script. They want to feel like the connection is unique. A nickname that could be easily applied to any woman carries no emotional weight, and instead of creating closeness, it pushes her further away because it feels lazy and impersonal. Authentic nicknames, however, build attraction because they match the energy of the moment and the nature of the connection. A nickname should emerge naturally from your interactions. Something about her personality, a moment you shared, or a tiny detail only you would notice. Authenticity makes the nickname feel emotionally grounded. It reflects attentiveness and genuine interest rather than performance. When a nickname grows out of real moments, it carries an emotional story behind it, even if it's simple. Women respond to that story because it shows that the connection is alive, personal, and evolving. Intimacy is another key ingredient in choosing the right nickname. Intimate doesn't mean overly romantic or sexual. It means emotionally close, warm, and meaningful. An intimate nickname has a softer tone, a private feel, and a sense of belonging. It's something that feels shared between the two of you, not something you would say publicly or to just anyone. When a nickname feels intimate in an understated way, it creates a small emotional bridge, something that quietly pulls her closer to you without putting pressure on the moment. Women love intimacy that grows in gentle, subtle ways because it feels safe, natural, and emotionally sincere. Natural nicknames also prevent awkwardness. When a nickname matches the vibe of the conversation, the emotional tone stays smooth and comfortable. She doesn't feel startled or confused by it. The problem with cringy nicknames is that they disrupt emotional flow. They introduce tension, self-consciousness, or discomfort because they feel out of place. A natural nickname blends into the rhythm of your interaction. It doesn't require explanation. It doesn't need justification. It fits. And when something fits emotionally, women instinctively relax into it. This relaxation is what deepens attraction without either of you having to force anything. Authenticity also protects your masculine presence. When men use over-the-top or cheesy nicknames, it often comes from a place of insecurity, seeking validation, or trying to impress. But authentic nicknames come from confidence. They show that you don't need theatrics or exaggerated affection to express interest. You allow the connection to unfold on its own timeline. Women pick up on this emotional authenticity instantly, and it makes your presence feel stronger, more grounded, and more trustworthy. A woman feels safe with a man whose affection feels genuine rather than performed, and the nickname becomes a reflection of that emotional integrity. Finally, avoiding cringy or overused names allows space for real emotional chemistry to grow. When you choose nicknames based on connection rather than imitation, they become part of the story between you and her. They evolve naturally. They mirror the closeness, comfort, and warmth developing between you. They feel organic, not forced. Women crave that kind of authenticity because it makes the connection feel rare, real, and emotionally significant.